Ever wonder why some women seem to crave giving pleasure, while others hold back, and no one talks about why? It's not luck, and it's not random. It's about emotion. It's about energy. It's about feeling safe, seen, and stirred, in ways most men never think about. Because when a woman feels those things, her whole approach to intimacy changes. And when you understand what's really happening beneath the surface, you stop guessing and you start connecting. Stick with me, because near the end, I'll reveal a little-known natural aphrodisiac that most men overlook. One that can unlock a level of responsiveness in a woman you've likely never seen before. Now, while every woman is different, there are quiet patterns you can start to recognize, patterns that reveal who's most likely to take the lead in giving pleasure. Some women carry a hunger they've hidden for years. They've been with the same partner, in the same rhythm, following the same script, but something inside them is restless. They long to feel that first spark again, the feeling of being chased, admired, discovered, and when they meet someone who awakens that part of them, it's like a light switch. Their desire to give becomes electric, because giving pleasure becomes a way of reclaiming their sense of power, of femininity, of being more than just a role or routine. Then there are women who seem confident on the outside, but inside they're quietly aching to be seen again. Maybe she's in a relationship, maybe she loves him, but if she's stopped feeling desired, if she feels invisible in her own home, a simple look, a kind word, a moment of real presence can change everything. When a man pays attention, not just to her body, but to her voice, her energy, her silence, he opens a door she thought was closed. And what she gives in return, it's not obligation, it's longing, it's gratitude. If she starts to explore you slowly, trailing her mouth along your neck, lingering just long enough to make you wonder, know this: she's not just teasing, she's offering something deeper. And if you know how to meet her there, the experience will stay with both of you. Of course, there are also women who love exploration, not just physical, but emotional. They move with ease and confidence, not because they're trying to prove anything, but because they've learned to enjoy the journey. These women often guide the moment with a quiet knowing. Their touch is intentional, their rhythm is grounded. When they give, they're not trying to impress you. They're connecting with you and with themselves. And here's something subtle that most men never consider. When she leans into your neck, when her mouth lingers, when her tongue teases just slightly, that's not casual affection. That's a signal. That's her inviting you into her energy. But your response, your awareness determines how far she'll go. It's not about what you do next. It's about how present you are in the moment. Before we go deeper, there's one small detail that can make a big difference in how she feels with you: your skin, the scent, the texture, the way it responds to touch. Many men use products filled with chemicals that can irritate her most sensitive areas. You might think it smells good, but it might be working against you. A simple change: coconut oil, natural, smooth, smells incredible, safe to use everywhere, especially when things start to get more intimate. When your body feels inviting to her touch, you've already said more than words ever could. And if any of this feels like a wake-up call, if you've ever had a moment where you thought, she was showing me something and I missed it, drop a comment below. Say older men if you're ready to start noticing the signs she sends without ever saying a word. Touching her the right way can make the difference between a fleeting moment and an unforgettable experience. Now that you understand the signals she sends and the type of woman who's likely to give first, let's talk about what you do next. Because your touch can either ignite her or instantly shut her down. It all begins with something so simple, most men never even think about it. Your hands, dry, rough, rushed. That's how most men approach her body, and that's why so many women tense up the moment things start. But here's what she'll never say out loud. She wants to be touched slowly, purposefully, and with just the right amount of softness. Before you even go near her most intimate areas, make sure your fingers are lightly moist, not wet, not sticky, just a gentle glide of moisture that tells her, "I care how this feels for you." And once you finally begin to touch her, keep one thing in mind: consistency. Men are wired to think variety equals excitement, but for women, consistency builds intensity. Pick one small area, yes, just one, and stay there. Don't rush. Don't keep switching directions. Use a circular motion or soft gliding pressure, whatever feels natural, but let her body build up the energy, not you. As you repeat the movement, her body will start to change. Her breath deeper, her hips moving, her fingers gripping the sheets or your arm. That's when you know she's rising, and that's when most men make their next big mistake. They speed up or change it too soon. Don't. Stay with her. Ride that wave. She's inviting you in. Don't break the rhythm. And when you feel her reaching that edge, that's your green light to expand your touch. That's when you bring in more of your hand. That's when you use your palm. A firmer touch. Here, a softer glide there. You're not just touching her body, you're guiding her energy. At this point, your touch can become a little more assertive, but still respectful. The goal isn't domination, it's leadership. A woman wants to feel like you're in control of the moment, but only because you're completely attuned to her. She wants to let go, but only if you show her you know where you're going. Touch her like a man who listens, who notices, who cares. Because when your hands speak with that kind of awareness, she'll respond with trust, surrender, and satisfaction. This is the moment when your touch becomes unforgettable. If this part opened your eyes, comment rhythm below, because next we're going to explore how the way you position your body can change everything. As her desire builds, so does the importance of how you're physically aligned with her. Positioning isn't just about angles or access, it's about energy, presence, and what it says without saying a word. There's something about having her, straddling you face to face, her legs wrapped around your waist, your body grounded on a chair, the edge of a bed or a low sofa. It creates something visceral, your chest to chest, eye to eye, breath to breath. This isn't about motion, it's about presence. You can whisper to her, touch her face, read every flicker in her eyes. For women who crave emotional connection, closeness, and the comfort of being held, this space opens more than her body. It opens her heart. Want to take it deeper? Let your hands slowly trace the length of her back. Anchor her. Let her feel. You're not just here, you're truly with her, but when the energy shifts and the craving deepens, another arrangement takes over. She's on all fours, and you're behind her. It's not just famous, it's elemental. It allows for deeper contact, fuller presence. But the real magic is in how you handle it. One hand steady on her hip, the other gliding slowly up her spine, or gently tugging her hair, if that's her language. The rhythm, not rushed, not mechanical. Stay in tune with her, because here's the secret. If you know how to go deep while staying grounded in her response, her body will melt. And when the body melts, emotional walls follow. For many women, this becomes the moment of being fully seen and fully taken, not by force, by presence. And then, for the adventurous, the unexpected awakens something bolder. She faces downward, bracing herself with hands planted on the bed or floor. You hold her legs or thighs from behind, as if lifting her slightly into the air. You can steady yourself by sitting on the edge of the bed or couch. This position changes the rules. The pressure is deep. The control is tight, and what she feels isn't just physical, it's psychological. The angle, the dominance, the tension, it hits places others don't. But here's what separates memorable from uncomfortable. Support her. Use your hands to carry her weight. Make her feel secure. Because when a woman feels safe, even when the moment is bold, she doesn't hold back. She lets go. Each of these experiences unlocks something different: connection, craving, confidence, and when you learn to sense which one she's drawn to in the moment, you create a physical symphony she'll never forget. Which do you think would move her most? Comment face, depth, or bold, and let's see what resonates with you. But we're not done, because pleasure isn't always found in the places you expect. Sometimes the most powerful sensations are hiding in the quietest corners of her body. Places that speak not just to arousal, but to trust, intimacy, and anticipation. Start at the place where whispers go, the neck, delicate, exposed, loaded with sensation. 97% of women say it's one of the most erotic parts of their body. But don't rush in. Start by brushing her hair back. Pause, let your fingers linger, then slowly, gently bring your lips to hover. Warm breath first, then contact. You're not just touching skin, you're building tension, and tension is the doorway to desire. Now think of somewhere unexpected, the back of her knees. It sounds strange, but that's what makes it so powerful. A gentle touch here while she's lying down, or a soft graze as you undress her, creates a moment she didn't see coming. And that moment, it stays with her, because it says, "I pay attention." And that message goes straight to the heart. Then there's the spot most often touched accidentally, but rarely explored intentionally, the small of her back. This is where presence meets protection. It's subtle dominance, guidance, a soft press of your palm as she walks by. As you dance, as you pull her close, it's not about force, it's about grounding her, making her feel held. The inside of her wrists holds a special kind of vulnerability. The skin is thin, the nerves active, the emotion open. Take her hand, turn it gently. Trace your fingers across her wrist. Even better, kiss it. Breathe slowly. That small act unlocks emotion, and she'll feel it ripple through her. And finally, the line where her lower back meets her hips. This is where control lives. It's physical, it's emotional, it's where she surrenders weight. And when you place your hands there, during a hug, during intimacy, or even in passing, you let her know she's safe, that she can relax into you. And when a woman feels that, she opens. You don't need to dive straight for the obvious. In fact, the men who slow down, who explore, who treat her body like a poem, not a puzzle, they're the ones she remembers. Comment soft zones if this part surprised you. Let's see who's truly paying attention. And yet, even with all that touch, all that rhythm, all that beautiful positioning, none of it matters without one thing: emotional safety. Because no matter how skilled your hands are or how well you read her body, she will never fully let go unless she feels safe. That kind of safety doesn't come from words. It comes from presence. It comes from listening. It comes from not rushing, not judging, not demanding. Because while a man's arousal can appear instantly, a woman's unfolds in layers. She needs to feel seen, accepted, desired, and free to surrender without fear. And when she does feel that level of safety with you, something extraordinary happens. Her body opens, her breath deepens, her responses become more raw, more honest, more prolonged. She stops holding back, not just physically, but emotionally. Because what she's releasing isn't just tension. It's the pressure to perform, the self-doubt she's carried quietly for years, the fear that she's too much or not enough, the unspoken stories she's stored in her body. And in that moment, if you're there fully with her, not just as a lover but as someone she trusts to hold all of her, you're no longer just a man in the moment. You're her safe place. But this is also where most men fail. They rush. They aim for the finish. They treat intimacy like something to achieve, not something to share. And so she pulls back. She stays in her head. She gives only what's necessary, but never what's real. You want to be different. Be the man who pays attention to what her body says when her mouth is silent. The man who notices a shift in her breath, a pause in her hips, a softening in her hands. That's the moment most men miss. And that's the moment you can make unforgettable. Because when she feels safe, truly safe, she will surprise you. Her voice will drop. Her rhythm will shift. Her touch will become deliberate. And yes, she might even release in ways she never has before. Female ejaculation, squirting, whatever you call it, it's not a myth. It's not a party trick. It's not something you get from her. It's her body saying, I feel so safe, I can let everything go. But here's the truth. It won't happen if she's pushed. It won't happen if she feels observed or expected to perform. It happens when she's invited, gently, patiently, and without conditions. So, if you really want to touch the deepest part of her, the part most men never even see, don't start with your hands. Start with your energy. Start with stillness. Start with patience. And watch what happens when she realizes she's finally free to feel it all. If you've seen a woman let go like this, comment safe. And if you haven't yet, you will after this. So now you know. It's never just about where you touch her, it's about how. It's not just the position you choose, it's the energy you bring to that space. And it's not about how long you last or how many tricks you've got. It's about presence. When a woman senses that you're truly with her, when she knows you're not rushing to some finish line but savoring the moment, letting her lead the rhythm of her own release, that's when everything changes. That's when her shoulders melt. That's when her body softens. That's when she gives you more than pleasure. She gives you herself. The truth is, great lovers aren't born. They're built. Built through curiosity, built through listening, built through a kind of quiet confidence that only comes with life. And that's where you have the edge. As a man over 50, you don't need flash. You've got presence. You've got depth. You've got patience. And that's exactly what she's been waiting for. If any part of this shifted your thinking or reminded you what truly matters, comment below. Say connection if you're ready to bring this energy into your relationship. Say respect if you believe intimacy starts in the heart. Say still learning if you're proud to be growing. And if you're still here all the way through, thank you. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because in the next one I'll share a natural, daily habit that improves blood flow, boosts stamina, and can quietly transform your intimate life from the inside out. Until then, stay present, stay curious, and remember, she doesn't want perfect. She wants real.